What's up, people? Welcome back. Returning again, triumphant return of Geeked Out Live, the show where I get a little excitable, maybe have some fun, talk some crap. You pick the topic. That's right. That's how this works. You pick the topic, and hey, what's going on, George G3? George G3 knows. He remembers the show. So pick the topic, guys. Movies, TV, pop culture, geek. What you got? What you know? What you see? It can be anything, really. Just come in peace. Come hang out. Have a good time. If you jump on here and you're like, "Who is this guy talking? What's his problem?" And you want to give me guff? Think about it for like 3 seconds. Just be like, "Wait, maybe I can just throw out a real topic. Have a real fun conversation with him. Be a part of the Snob Nation. Hang out. It's all love, buddy." Or lass, or anybody in between. We accept all forms of life here. So, yeah, welcome. What topics have you for me? If I get no topics, maybe I'll leave early and I'll go watch Late Night with the Devil at the Alamo playing. So, excited for that one. Have not seen that yet. Need to. For sure. It is Easter. No one will be out. It'll be nice. But them doing this, I figured I'd have some fun, bring it out. Sometimes on holidays, I know it can get lonely for some people, and of course, Snob Nation is all about the outcasts. So we love you guys, and I tried to, maybe go live, have a good time with it. So Geeked Out Live, it's all for you guys. So throw it out there, throw out those topics. Let's hear them. I want to hear those topics. Before we get into George G3's topics, let me make a banner so people know when they stop by. If not, I'll just be playing Sporkle. And you're just going to have to endure because that's what it is. This is all timed and I go crazy. So go ahead, pick the topics. I'm here for you. See what you're saying, George G3. Yeah, let's talk something for the current teens to check out since Bryce will be home most of the week. All right. It's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. Pick a genre. Give me genres first, because I need more of a breakdown, because I can do broad, but everybody's a little different. And what I like to say is this. We have rules here, guys, on the Scene Snobs. You know that. If you think a movie sucks and you say it sucks, that's fine. But you have to give us a recommendation of a good movie that you think is good in its place. That's the rule here. That's the one thing. You can trash any movie, but give us a recommendation to fill the void. 2, if you want me, I'll allow my services for Geeked Out tonight for young Bryce, part of the Snob Nation. Of course, if you tell me his 3 favorite movies, and if you want to spread that out amongst genres, I can give you movies based on those 3 that will match up really well. But he likes horror, action, adventure. Okay. Horror and action adventure. Well, ooh, kicking my camera on my giant feet. That's what you get when you have size 18 feet. So let's go action adventure first. Obvious, of course, Indiana Jones. I'm going to just wipe that out right now. I'm taking all the big ones out, like Star Wars, Star Trek, because I know you've shown them. I know you've done it. And so I want to go, it's got to be deeper cuts. But it's got to be something that I know when he's watching it, it's going to bring joy to your face too, and your wife's face, because it's connection. That's what we're looking for here. We're looking for connection in some way, shape, or form. So, what action adventure type of movie? And please, anybody who wants to join in with this, jump in right in the comments. You pick out the topics, or you can help out with a topic or anything like that. So, action adventure, National Treasure movies are always good. Solid movies. If he hasn't seen them, check them out. On top of that, if he hasn't seen the Burton Batman films, And I maintain, even though anybody who goes back on the Scene Snobs knows my documented feelings about Batman and Robin well, I do maintain that every Batman fan should at least see those movies once. So maybe those are something to think about. Old school Superman, not too bad either. I'm not saying go past two, but I do again maintain that whole franchise can be seen at least once. And I would even throw in Superman Returns in there. I think it's a good bridge. So thinking about that. Action adventure. Let's get off superheroes. I want to do something interesting. Young Sherlock Holmes is good. I usually watch it around Christmas time, though. It's got that Christmas time feel. So Young Sherlock Holmes is good though. It's got a very Goonies vibe to it. Produced by Spielberg as well. Poltergeist would be a good one if he hasn't seen it before. We have a new Discovering Horror coming out tomorrow for April Fool's Day. So if you were interested, April Fool's Day would be a good horror film for him, for his age especially. Show him that one from '86. So there's some horror recommendations. The Wraith, another good one for his age, which has that racing actiony type vibe, but as the ghost car, it's kind of cool. It's kind of bonkers too. Plus, you kind of urge your kid to check out B movies more, which I know you do, but just showing them movies like that, yeah. Fright Night, always a good one. There's a little, sexuality in there, sensuality, if you will. But so I don't know how you feel about all that, but maybe hold off till maybe it's about 15, 16 for that. But Christine's a good one. That's a really good one. It's a good one for his age. Those are some. You know what? Go on a Van Damme kick. You want an action adventures? Introduce him early to Van Damme. Go kickboxer. Go Bloodsport. If he likes those, graduate him into the next ones like Lionheart, Desert Heat. Get a little crazy with it. Throw him out to like sudden death. He likes sports. That could be a cool one. And they made a cool sort of not sequel to it, but sidequel with Michael Jai White called Sudden Death. That was pretty good too. So I'll check that out. Thanksgiving, that was a good one. So yeah, I mean, Fright Night would be good then. He'd be fine. Like if he's at that level. See, I always have to gauge because Tommy's at a different level with his horror. Like he doesn't love the slasher films. He likes them. Yeah, he likes Scream. He likes Friday the 13th movies. But there's somewhere he's just like, it's just not for me. Like he just doesn't, he's not really into it. I also think the teenager vibe kind of adds that element of fear, but he's really into monsters, so it's very cool he's all in on monster movies and stuff like that. So it's very cool. Vampires things. So that's been a really cool one to explore lately. So you never know at what age everybody's kind of cool with. But yeah, that's another one. You're saying that Van Damme is a good thought. Yeah, because you kind of opening up those. I'm thinking the old WPIX days. I know you're out in Ohio, so maybe the old Channel 11, Channel 9, 5, whatever, Saturday morning type stuff. Yeah, so those are to start. I'd say those will get you through. I'm honestly to kind of cover what's coming out in the box office right now. Why don't you start him on Godzilla from 2014, then watch Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, which arguably is one of the greatest in the entirety of the franchise, the entirety of it. Then it's Godzilla versus Kong, and there's also that Monarch TV show, which was phenomenal as well. You got all week. That was only 10 episodes. You could probably finish all that off. And then when he's feeling a little bit better, go take him to see the new one in theaters. Well, I didn't have a high thoughts of Ghostbusters. I did a full review on it, so I'll leave everybody to go back and hear my thoughts. But I didn't walk out of there loving it. But doesn't mean I wouldn't want to see more. And definitely go check it out. Let me know what you think, for sure. Guys, anybody who's joining, join up. You pick the topics. That's how this works. So get on it. Love to hear what you got. Yeah, so I'm looking up some of the things that are going on properly. Not properly. But yeah, those are some of the movies. And as I go, if I can think about them, George, I'll throw them out to you. But I would really honestly like that would be kind of a cool, like, because I'm doing that with Jack now, and he's 7, so like we're watching because I took him to see Godzilla X Kong because he loves all of it, giant monsters fighting right. So I took him to see that. Tommy's away right now, and his dad. So when he gets back, I'm going to take him to go see it too. But man, it's just been exciting to like lead up to it and let them see like how it all kind of unfolds. So this week for his spring break, we're just gonna chill out and enjoy. But hell yeah. So what topics you got for me now? Which proton pack would I want to use? The new ones, of course. Oh, you haven't seen it yet. Oh Christ. I am enjoying all of these memes, these Godzilla memes. I'm a big Godzilla fan, for anybody who doesn't know. I love it. So I'm all in. We're doing a show about it now where we watch every goddamn thing. And it's been amazing. And I've loved the ride. Rice wasn't told about how they were going to drain his body. Poor kid. He'll bounce back. Kids are resilient. All right. How do we feel about the new doctor? Anybody? I still have mine. Only tonsils out. I still have mine too. I have my appendix. I hope at this point it's just nothing. It's like nothingness. I wonder how many generations we're going to get to where when the appendix is completely gone, like where we've evolved past it, evolved past it, because it's useless. And it's, from what I understand, I think I've either read it or I heard somewhere or saw a video or something that it's getting smaller too. Like over however many years it's gotten smaller, especially too. So eventually it would have to, I would assume, and just like not be there anymore, right? So it'd be interesting. Kind of like phase things out. How does that work? I'd enjoy it. But all right, guys, what you got for me? It might be a short episode. I only saw Doctor Who back in the early 80s for a brief time. Well, get on it. That's a good one. Have him start that. Does he like sci-fi? Like, does he like goofy sci-fi? Or does he like legit, like, the Star Treks, things like that, or like darker type stuff? Because that makes a difference. Although I do maintain, but that makes a difference because depending on what kind of sci-fi you like is where I would tell you to start Doctor Who. Almost. Most people say start in 2005. I could argue that now. I could argue that you could take it in different places now. You don't have to start in 2005. We've evolved so much. I mean, we're almost a 20-year mark. It's almost the 20th anniversary since it was brought back, so bringing it back, it could be it could be really interesting, in my opinion. Like, it could be very cool to like just start telling people like, maybe like this is what you like in sci-fi or even like fantasy or something. Maybe start with this doctor and then let them find the other doctors on their own. Most people I think would agree with me. Most people I think would just say, if you're going to start with any doctor, start with Tennant. But I think most Doctor Who fans would say start from the beginning. I just think you can argue that point now but I did start from way back in the past, but I started with the fifth Doctor. At the end of the fifth Doctor, the sixth Doctor was really like the one I paid attention to when it was on TV. So for me, I'm fine. And then I came back to this, and then, I grew up and never really saw Doctor Who again after that until years later in 2005. It's popping back up. I'm like, oh, and it's different. It was cool. And I really enjoyed it. But, so I think I hold like a different idea to it. Like, I think you can just, at this point, there's been so many doctors, even since 2005, and they've been so incredible, in my opinion. You could just jump in at any and just either revisit the past if you want to, or just kind of go forward. Even with this new doctor, go, with QT Gatwa, just jump in with them. Supposedly the reboot and everything, so be interesting. But tell me what you think. I'd love to hear it. So, all right, he loves Spaceballs. That's a good one. Okay, so let me think about that. Now here's, you can show me Young Frankenstein, another Mel Brooks classic. Silent Movie's a funny one too, and that's if you want to go the Mel Brooks route. History of the World Part 1 is really good too. If you don't want to go the Mel Brooks route and you want to go more along the lines of Spaceballs and parody, first off, show them Galaxy Quest if you haven't. And in fact, I think on Popcorn and Pints next week, they're doing Galaxy Quest versus Spaceballs, which is going to be interesting. I think I might be a part of that. So just something like that, another parody movie that sort of could be interesting. Masters of the Universe might be interesting. You might like that. I understand. I get it's not a parody, but it's kind of fantastical. Might be kind of up his alley. I could dig it. What do you guys got for me? I'm just gonna start playing Sporkle soon. Aha. So, but yeah, I am. He told me. Here we go. We got. Just told me he watched MS old. MS. What is MS? MS. Did I miss something? What did I say something that was MS? Mission? No, it's Mission. MI. What are you talking about? What is MS? Because I said Young Frankenstein. I said History of the World Part 1, and then Masters of the Universe. But that doesn't make sense with MS. M. Night Shyamalan. He watched Old. He liked Old. Okay. Didn't love it. I wish it was more mystical than anything, but whatever. That's just me. I based on that, then I would drill back to like some really interesting, in my opinion, better M. Night Shyamalan movies. Maybe Unbreakable. He likes superheroes, has a really cool superhero vibe. It's mystery, it has that darkness, sort of thriller, horror type of feel. Sixth Sense is a good one. Even Signs. I think people shit on Signs, but I think Signs isn't that bad of a movie, honestly. I enjoy it. What is this one? AG, what's up? How you doing? Dracula, didn't loving it. Dead and loving it. Doesn't get Dracula. Dead and loving it. Doesn't get Dracula. I don't know what's going on here. Dracula. I got you. Okay, so there's just. I got you. Dracula, Dead and loving it. Great film. Yes, with Spaceballs. Now, here's the thing. I don't love that as like a Dracula movie. It bothers me. There's some things about that bother me, but the comedy's great. And I do really appreciate the great comedy of it. So great recommendation. You should have Bryce check that out as well. And a lot of those old spoof movies like were really good back then. Mel Brooks knew how to really do them. But yeah, so like, but if you didn't want to take that Mel Brooks route, that's fine. Or Robin Hood Men in Tights. Honestly, I think which is right up on par with Spaceballs. It's not one of his best movies, but with Spaceballs being as good as it is, I think Robin Hood Men in Tights, like Blazing Saddles, in my opinion, is better. Young Frankenstein. I love High Anxiety. I think that's an amazing movie. The producers. So I can go on and on about what I think is some of Mel Brooks' best work, but I would definitely put Robin Hood Men in Tights and Spaceballs on the same level, and in a matter of greatness. Dead and Loving It, maybe not right up there, but definitely watch it. I would put that out there. He is opposite of me. He loves horror movies. He agrees it was something to watch. He loves. I had no idea. You cannot do that, George. Type it out. I'm not George. I'm gonna type it out, dude. I had no idea what RMIT means. I'm too far gone for this. You have to type it out. It just says, I love the enema joke. Gives him a sense of accomplishment. Agreed with Tice. I freaking love Spaceballs. Is amazing. I have to rewatch that for Popcorn and Pints next week if I'm going to be a part of it. I haven't seen it in a while. God, it's so classic. Everything about it. Oh darn, I love. But it doesn't work because it's Robin Hood Men in Tights and you put RMIT. I need the H. The H has to be in there for me to know that that's what you meant. Listen, guys, if you're going to throw out topics, you got to throw them out the right way. I'm just messing with you. But yeah, no, Robin Hood Men in Tights is amazing. There's actually a parody movie coming out. Jerry Seinfeld directed it. It's coming out to Netflix soon. It's called Toasted or something like that. And it's about the Pop-Tart wars, versus I guess toaster strudels, which was Kellogg's versus what was the other one? Quaker? I don't remember who the two big back in like the 60s was. Post is who it was. And like he plays like the guy who works at Kellogg, and she plays the one that works at Amy Schumer plays the one that works at Post, and they're in like a bit of war over this for a new product. It looks funny though. There's a lot of comedians in it, so I'm kind of interested. Don't dumb it up. You got to spell it out, or no, dumb it up. Spell it out for me like a 5-year-old. I'm in it. Minute to win it. George, maybe French Canadian. Does he watch hockey? He does. He's close enough to French Canada. He's very up there. He's in Ohio, but the hand keeps him down. That's just me perpetuating more of the war class of Ohio versus Michigan. Which is sadly relegated only to the football fields at this point, which is okay. Interesting stuff though, for sure. So you can pick the topics, guys. So you pick them, I talk about them. Gotta get on it. You gotta get on it to on it. I have no idea what that means. Yes, he's who watches hockey. That's why he drops the H. Oh, snap. Listen, that's what we do here. Play the games, make them win. I was a Lions fan since Megatron. Ooh, back in the day. I was a Giants fan. Yes, still am. Even though, there's been a lot of bad years. So I am not, when Giants have bad years, I'm not like flippity. It is what it is. I'm just like, yeah. We'll get there. We'll see what happens. History of swear words. Never knew that was a movie. It's not a movie. It's a TV show. Nicolas Cage hosts it, and they just pick a different word for each episode. So I'm going to talk about it. AG. So the topic is toxic relationships. Okay, we want to. And like pop culture, you just want to talk about toxic relationships in life. We can talk about it whenever you want. Ask questions. Go for it. What do I think about toxic relationships? I mean, listen, I think toxic relationships are toxic for many, 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 many reasons. So, like, you can't just fix toxic relationships. Like, it's not like, how do you fix toxic relationships? Well, every toxic relationship is different, right? Now, can we dumb it down all into groups? Sure. Like, like, why is this toxic? It may be this type of abuse or this type of abuse or all types of abuse or this or that, might even be toxic for other reasons that isn't really abuse. But it's toxic for the two of them. Maybe mental health is coming into play in some aspects. So really you just need, there's no real fix other than I always say mental health. You're always going to be better with mental health. A lot of us suffer a lot of traumas, and there's nothing wrong with getting help for it. So, I miss David Dio. He's kind of a big deal. It's very true. Taylor Swift and nah. This is a talk. Are you saying that's a toxic? But that's not a toxic relationship. You just don't want to hear about it. Maybe it's a toxic relationship for NFL, but it's helping them. So I don't know what that like. Your sport's going to go away at some point. It's going to happen. They're shooting themselves in the foot at this point. Like, you're going to have to deal with that fact. It's going to go away. Probably because of themselves. So I'm not like, I'm not taking blame and tail. Like, she got people to go to games. That's not toxic. And in their relationship, who knows what their relationship is? Nobody fucking knows anything. How are we supposed to know what their relationship is? Who cares? He goes to her concerts. If my wife was a singer, I'd go to her concerts. If I was a football player, my wife would come to my games. Nobody would say a fucking word about that. Not a single person would say a word about that. But because it's Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. That's the only reason. So cry about it all you want. But like, if anything, it improved your football year and prolonged just a little bit longer this dying sport, which I'm not saying I want to go away. This isn't a, hey, I hate it and I think it needs to go away. I'm hoping and praying that they are actually doing and really doing checks and trying to help people and correct things and things they've screwed up in the past, especially in terms of concussions and safety for everyone. And if they are, great. But that's not what my point is. My point is they're killing themselves. The NFL, the actual, now it's not, I'm not going to say the sport's going to go away, but I'm going to say the league may. I really could see the league going away. Now, it doesn't mean that other leagues can't rise up or start or however this goes. I'm just saying I think it's going to go away. And it ain't because of Travis and Taylor. Leave them alone. And you know what? They're gone now. Nobody's heard anything about them for since Super Bowl. I've heard nothing about Travis and Taylor like we did the entire season. So I don't blame Travis, because if they wanted to be in the limelight, they would still be. They would still be trending. They didn't put themselves there. She went to his games, he went to her concerts, and that's it. And either you're bitching about it because you have nothing else to bitch about, or you're jealous because you think you have a chance with Taylor. And that's okay too. Well, I didn't know that you were going there. Well, I didn't know we were going there either. Somebody said toxic relationships. I don't know how to answer that. Give me more context when you pick the topics, but I'll go anywhere. And I do believe in mental health, so I will advocate every day. I was talking about our respective football fandom. All right, motherfuckers. I don't. You gotta add that in. I need the context. Stop throwing out random ass missing letter acronyms to me. Stop throwing out just 2 words to me and say toxic relationships in fandom, football fandom, and I'll 100% be on board with it. I need the full context because I jumped right in there and I knew what I was saying. I went with it. They support each other. We talk about our first time interview crushes. Ooh. Let me finish out the other. Let me finish out the other 2 comments I have, but I'll come back to that. And she might need another album. They're supporting her, and hey, not wrong. She has another one coming out, so she's going to be the biggest thing at the end of the month. So get used to it. Did you see how violent Kelsey is to his own coach? Imagine how easy he could snap on Taylor. Stop it. Stop it. No. Stop. Was it uncalled for? Yes. Should he have done it? No. Did he apologize? Yes. Leave it alone. Let's stop looking for spectacle. No, it's not a big deal. And you know what? Who gives a shit? She can decide that. I don't know if that's how he may not be violent in any way, shape, or form, but you've got to give them that chance. You can't just assume he's violent because of one thing that happened in the heat of a Super Bowl football game to a level of pressure to the which none of us know. And I'm talking instantaneous pressure of timed, like you're in it, your brain is going, your emotions are going, you're physically going. I'm talking about that. We all know pressure, and we probably all, especially ones who aren't making the money that Travis Kelsey is making. I'm not shaming him for that. He works hard, but I'm saying for the ones who we don't make that much money, we are not a part of that percentage of lifestyle. So I'm not saying that none of us don't know pressure. Of course we do. I'm talking about that instantaneous game pressure. And anybody who's played sports or played some sort of game knows that. Like, trying to figure something out and like you get so intense on it. So again, not condoning anything he did, and he apologized. And if Andy Reid accepts it and says fine, accept it. Like we don't have to argue about it. Like that's he's not. Don't assume he's doing anything to Taylor. First of all, she has like a 24/7 security team. Her parents travel with her like everywhere. She is one of the strongest women ever. Like by going through like in a public eye, going through the shit she went through, but also building a brand. That's not an easy thing. And now I don't care who's flooding one in, but she didn't have it in the beginning, and she maneuvered herself to make money for herself. She doesn't owe brands. Brands are wanting to be a part of her. I respect that model. It's the same reason I respect like filmmakers and go out and do it on their own, artists who go out and do it on their own and build their brands and build what they're trying to do and make. So their studios, stuff like that. So she did it to $1 billion level. He ain't hitting her unless she wants it. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. And if it does happen, someone's going to know, and someone is going to stop. And I do believe she is the type of person who's been through enough and has advocated enough and talked enough. She would probably stop that shit real fast. So big and burly. I'm 6'8". Because I'm 6'8" and because I've yelled at people in the past, does that mean that I beat my wife? No, of course not. I've never raised a hand to her. And listen, you ain't believe it or not, but again, it's the same thing with Travis Kelsey and Taylor. None of your fucking business. If it's true, it'll come out. It always does. And nowadays, it always does. So I don't know. I just argue about that stuff because I feel like calling somebody an abuser, if you don't know, that's fucked up. That's fucked up because there are some abusers out there we're not calling out. You know, like we're arguing, you know, the topic conversation. And granted, you pick the topic, and I'll talk Travis Kelce, and I'll talk, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm sharing my opinion. You asked me, I'm sharing. So I'm not heated or anything. So please don't take it as that. I'm not mad. I get lively. So, but with that, like, and not to kind of get a little more intense too, because it is an intense thing. It's like you're calling this dude an abuser because of something that happened during a game that none of us, on an amount of pressure that none of us know, you know, to something that has been apologized for and forgiven by all parties. And to call him an abuser or insinuator or infer or you know anything really, like, or you know, start rumors that that's what could be happening, is it's disturbing because we have real abusers that we don't call out. You know, we do, like, we have ones that, like, for years we've heard rumors on and things like that that are like real, like, and then when they do come out, it's like, oh yeah, I heard some really damning stuff about that. But like, you're not asking those questions. And now again, it's still hypocritical to do so because, like I said, calling somebody out without evidence, it's fucked up. But what I'm saying is we do have monsters out there that we know are monsters that we're not putting the limelight on, you know, like this Ruby Frankie thing and the, you know, Hildebrand or whatever her last name is, fucking monsters that they are. And what they did to those children drives me crazy every time I think about it. But I'm glad I said it because those are abusers. Those are the names I'd rather say. Those are abusers. You know, that Brian Peck from the Quiet on Set doc, you know, things like that. Like, put their names out there. People who are bona fide abusers. Let's not point at somebody and be like, he's abusive or this, that, and the other thing, or he could be, or that, because that's not going to help anything at all. But I love you guys. So let's see what everybody's saying, because I do want to go back to what you were saying, AG. TV crushes. Because of course we all had them, right? So, and what are some of yours? Point them out. So keep me lively on this. Pizzas. I'm from Jersey, so I can name my favorite normal pizza places from there, but they're probably all closed by now. But anyway, so George, one instant cannot define a person. Travis has played for years, and a comment like that makes me believe you watched that on TikTok. Andy Reid is an uncle to Andy, Uncle Andy to Jason's 3 kids. People are human. You are an anthropomorphic teddy bear wished to life in a Disney movie. Thanks. 6'8" and made the cuddle look way. Yeah. I like, yeah, and I'm a cuddler, so it works. So be a lover, not a fighter. That's what it's all about. So actually, that's something that I started like trend for myself. Whenever I'm like with people or in a room, I'm like, love yous, or, you know, love you guys, you know, because in saying it, because one thing I've started finding, and like, it's not that this is new news or anything, like, but you know how, like, you know something, but you start paying attention to it even more for yourself, like you're becoming more self-aware. We're going to talk that pickle pizza in a second because that seems like an interesting endeavor. But anyway, go back real quick to this. It just, for me, like, I forgot what I was saying. So, because pickle pizza, now it's all I can think about is pickle pizza. Where is this pickle pizza? Is my favorite from Pizza Get? Oh, of course, it's in Ohio, isn't it? Where in Ohio is it? I have to drive. Or we're going to have to go and buy a pizza and put pickles on it. No, I'm kidding, of course. But no, it's, listen, listen, I'm trying to think of. I hate thinking about the pizzas from back home and how much I miss them. Like those are the things I miss. I live in Virginia now, so like there's some mom and pop places that make some really good pizzas around here. Um, over in Winchester, Virginia, they have some really cool stuff. Benny Melito's is good. Pizza Oco, but I haven't had that in a long time though. I'd have to go back and check them out. Like, and again, a lot of this has been a while, but like those are always good slices whenever I had them. But it's not Jersey or New York pizza, and that's my favorite. So I do like a good Detroit deep dish, especially for you, Tim. A good Detroit deep dish is a good pizza for sure. I don't know. Like now, I wouldn't know where a wise guy. Okay, all right. Story time. So back in the day, we used to hang out at Rutgers, and we just go there party, and they had a place called Pizza City. And let me tell you, Pizza City had my favorite pizza. I forgot about them just until this very moment. I wonder if they're still like in existence of life, because I hope so, because they were like a staple, man. I freaking loved going there whenever we were like stupid drunk walking through. We get fat sandwiches down at the trucks, but I had to get a pie from Pizza City. Then you're like, how are you still alive? I don't know. I have no. Oh, they're still there. Sweet. Well, if you're ever in New Brunswick, New Jersey, go to Pizza City. It's worth it. At least it was almost 20 years ago. God damn, man. That one hurt a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. It was a hurtful. It's a hurtful thought. I just that old. Oh no, I'm snoring. Snorting. Damn. I haven't been to Rutgers in like 20 years. Holy shit. It has been a long time. I'm so annoyed. They have a website and everything now. They didn't have a website back then. That was the fun stuff. All right, what we got here? All right, AG says, so Hawaiian pizza. I don't mind Hawaiian pizza. I don't mind ham. I don't mind pineapple. I'm in it. I'll go for it. The worst Canadian invention, thoughts, and my TV crush, Tyrone Dobbs, Alan Harcel from Coronation Street. I've heard of Coronation Street. I've never watched Coronation Street. So I don't know if it's good. I'll take your word for it. I believe you. I believe it most likely is. I am still thinking about that. That one's ruminating. Veda from My Girl. I had a crush on her like when I was that age. Oh, she's still like I saw her on that Inventing Anna show. Beautiful, beautiful woman. But like and great actor. Great actor. I liked her in I think it was In the Loop. I want to say it was TV series. I might be off on that. I'd have to double check, but I think it was In the Loop. It was like a political type show. Wasn't Veep. I know she was on Veep too. Another one, great, but another particular show that I'm thinking of that she was on that she was really good. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm talking about TV or like crushes from when I was a kid. So that was a crush, because but I was like, I was like 10, so like a real crush, So who else? I mean, Sarah Michelle Gellar on Buffy when I was in high school. Of course, I think all the guys were really like Charisma Carpenter. Like, I mean, those were like that was the time, like all of those women on like the WB were like just like wow, like still like, and they've all aged like amazingly. Like I saw the Charmed women up on stage the other day, and I'm like, wow, they all look great. Like, I mean, it's you go do a revival, it'll be fun. Although I guess they have like a battle with Alyssa Milano. I don't really know the whole story. Kind of stay out of it. Vermilion, Ohio, right around the corner from me. We have to get you out here. I don't mind Ohio. Pickle pizza. Pizza for when you're married. Because she married you and your breath. That's very fair. Although I don't think she'd mind. Pickles. Awesome. Detroit deep dish is okay. Their Coney Island dogs are better. Chicago pizza. Go to Coney Island if you want a Coney Island dog. Chicago pizza is true meal. I didn't like Chicago. I don't like the deep dish. Or that it's a cake. It's not a pizza, it's a cake. Let's be real. It's a cake with tomato sauce and bread and cheese under it. Drives me nuts. Anna Klumsky, Veep by In the Loop creator. But I could have swore she was on In the Loop as well. Because I didn't watch all of Veep. I watched some of it. I knew she was on it. But I could have swore she was on a like, because I know, yeah, she was in the loop in 2009. Okay, it was just the movie. She was in the movie, so I don't think she was on because there was a TV show as well, but I don't think she was on that one. Interesting. So there you go. That's probably why she got over on V. So like it. Kelly Kapowski. See, I liked Lisa. Yeah, I liked Lisa more than Kelly. Casey really liked Kelsey when he well, I mean I'm sure he still does. Mine was Slater. That arm curl made me funny inside. I don't blame you. I would, because I remember, like, I was like, dude, I want biceps like that. Like, whenever you're like, it's awesome. Well, you felt a different thing for that. I'm like, I wanted the biceps. You wanted the biceps too. What I'm saying is we can both agree the biceps. I think that's current fair even ground here. I'm in a YouTube delay, so I'm responding from 4 minutes in your. Well, how does that help me? It's like frequency. Oh my God. Wait, no, I have to help you. Turn around. Oh my God. If you get scared by that, I'm sorry. I think she was. Oh, yeah. I think she was just in the movie, though. There was a TV show, and it doesn't say she was in that. So, whatever. I was in the loop on that one. Alyssa Milano was definitely a TV. That was my brother's TV crush from Who's the Boss. Yeah. He like had a big one on her back in the day. Not I, sir. 16-year-old can look like that. Yes, small me. 32-year-old can look like a 16-year-old with arms the size of my waist. I mean, Hollywood. When they run you ragged, look at how they treat these people. These kids and stuff on there. And like, yeah, I realized they were adults, but still, even then, it was like when you were actors starting out, it was like they would treat you like garbage, man. And they would underpay you for everything. It was nuts. I'm not saying that firsthand like I was an actor. I was an actor for a little while, but not like that. I didn't do it for the talent. I didn't do it with talent, I should say. So okay, can we both agree biceps are aptly named biceps? I agree. We can both agree on that. Connection affirmed. All right, here we got. Oh yeah, I guess it's Trans Visibility Day, so I want to make mention of that. It's a good topic too. So we see you. So just point that out, because I'm not the most religious people, so Easter for me is more like, hey kids, let's dye eggs, because I remember doing it when I was a kid and it was fun. And Jesus is awesome, but that doesn't mean I'm into religion. So but to each their own if you're out there doing your thing. And happy Easter to you guys. And if you're feeling a little alone today, come on, jump in and throw out some topics. AG's got some good ones. George, you do too, but you got quiet, man. Well, in fairness, I kind of went after you about the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. But not so much you. Just understand, you threw it out. I went after the interwebs. That was more for the inflection. But I appreciate you throwing it out, my friend. Thank you. But you gotta go hard. You gotta go hard on them. You can't be calling people abusers like that. Not until we know. Then we know. But I'll wait for a few more topics, see what's going on, see what you guys want to talk about. And maybe I'll play some Sporkle for a little bit and wait for your topics. Who else's biceps did you like, AJ? In the early 90s. I guess I should probably read off my sponsor cards. So my wife has been really on top of all of our sponsorships and what's going on with them right now, which everything's linked down below. You can go check it out. So I will say this. Noom, which if you go and you sign up now with the Noom link down below, you get an online trial with $10 off. I can tell you this, Noom is a great app to help you with weight loss. It helps you keep your daily meals all together, keeps your diary all there, also offers you challenges, things like that, and gives you psychological sort of help to help guide you in your journey of weight loss. I learned a lot through going through that. And dealing with the app and being able to like control what I eat, moderate myself on certain things. Like, I was getting really out of control with sugar and stuff like that. So like it helps you with doing all of those things and more. It goes in depth. You have to take like a questionnaire for it to see like how it measures up, what will work for you, what's, where you should start, and some of your background. It's really in depth about mental health, and your mental health in dealing with weight loss, and other aspects of it as well, and keeping you active, keeping you eating right, and keeping you in the know on how to handle those things. And just so you know, all it says is online trial, $10. I'm saying this from the heart. I've used the app. I do like Noom. So yeah, go check out Noom. And if it isn't linked down below, I will make sure it gets linked up there very soon. So check that out. Wait, am I virtue signaling? Support your trans it. I support all my friends. I don't care what they're like. Virtue signaling? Why is it virtue signaling? Okay. Well, sorry you feel that way. The Chicago subway system is underrepresented and even more love than ER gave it. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, listen. You keep using that word. I do nothing. So, and listen, I don't want to come at this angrily. I don't want to come at this in a mean way. Or no, that's cool. Like, no, I'm just not. I believe in trans rights. Now, I have many thoughts, many opinions on many things, and I don't go into them all because I'm not 100% informed on every aspect in every area. I'm also not a doctor. I'm also not this, that, and the other thing. So I can't speak to everything. I do my research. I make informed opinions. I have friends who are trans. I have friends who identify in with different pronouns, and I just try to respect everybody for what they are trying to live their life as and who they are. So not in any way, shape, or form to upset you or your stance on it, but this is mine. And like I like doing things from a place of positivity, place of respect, place of love. And I'm not saying anybody's doing anything else or vice versa. And I'm not trying to drum up any of that or start any fights. I'm just saying, but when we're here, let's just have some fun with it. Let's talk about it. Let's not immediately jump on and hate anybody. We all live on this giant marble, right? And a lot of us believe that we're going to have to meet each other afterwards. Some up, some down, somewhere else. Who knows? So let's just try and better understand each other. It's a lot easier to just try and get to know your fellow human than it is to come at it with anger or hate or fear or anything like that. So believe what you want to believe. Hang out. Keep giving topics. Love having you here. But that's it. In order Okay. Well, I hope you didn't leave. I hope you're still around, AG. I was having a lot of fun with you being a part of this, and you were throwing out a lot of fun topics. Again, this is a place of inclusion. It's a place for outcasts. This is a place for crazy people and the absurdists. So come in, enjoy us, and be a part of us. Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate that. Love it. I love Doctor Who. One of my favorites. What you got here, George C3? Point of view of what could be a lot going on. We have heard a lot of horror stories behind the scenes of top athletes and the pressures. They play roles almost like actors. One person in view of the public and another behind closed doors. We never know. I was just bringing it up as a possibility. That's true. But again, anything can be a possibility. I truly do believe, I am somebody who truly believes that if we are going to present something out there without knowing, then you're trying to force. I do believe that in some way is trying to support, is maybe trying to force something into reality that isn't there. And that is so irresponsible. If we don't know, we don't know. We saw one action. So to make any assertions as to who he is as a human being, it's not right. Like, again, after the fact sucks. It really does. And I'm not saying we should wait after the fact. But again, at the same time, we have to trust that the people she surrounds herself with and that, he surrounds himself with are there to support, love, and care and make sure everyone is safe and taken care of. So it's not a matter. So like, I'm not going to, you can't assume that stuff. When you start assuming that stuff, you really it gets a slippery slope. So honestly, I appreciate the shout out about the history of cursed horror movie. All right. Hey, no problem. So, all right. What topics we got? What are we talking about? We getting into it? We're gonna have some fun tonight. We are having some fun. I do like it. We talked some pizza. We talked pickle pizza. I think I'd go more Hawaiian if I had to. Well, no, I would gladly go more Hawaiian. I do like Hawaiian pizza. I haven't had a lot of great Hawaiian pizzas though. I feel like Hawaiian pizza is done specialty. Who does the best Mexican pizza? That's the question. I mean, I think we all know the answer, but I'm just saying. I think people that are good, but sometimes wants to take away from our empathy, and we are protective of ourselves, and from early age learn how we are appreciated. So we tend to adjust ourselves to fit in. Absolutely, and I think that's a great point, AG. I love that. And that's and to talk to that just a little bit more, like we try to adjust ourselves to fit in, I think, but like I think we should be allowed to be okay with who we want to be. If it's and I always, my number one rule in this is be yourself, be yourself as long as it's not hurting anyone. If being yourself is hurting anyone, and what I mean by that is like hurting on purpose. If somebody's upset that you are being your true self, that's not hurting them. They have to get over that. That's their problem. But you're not hurting them. What I'm talking about is like if you're Dexter and you're, don't be true self. Maybe become an advocate for or still drives me nuts. You had the perfect opportunity to have your son go through so many trials and tests through psychology to understand the mind of whatever. I'm not even gonna. Nope, just make him a killer. Whatever. But anyway, so that's what I mean. Be your true self as long as it's not hurting anybody. So again, there's lots of levels on every topic. So we can say this, that, or the other thing. But I think if you want to be accepted, you have to accept. And sometimes that means having to accept first. And that's radical acceptance. Almost like I live in a world where this is a reality. This exists. I'm not saying you have to accept every level of everything. You do your research and you make it up in your mind as you go. But you can radically accept what exists or what doesn't exist or what is in your life or not. And once you accept that, it's almost like saying this exists, but it doesn't affect me. It doesn't do anything to me at all. And it just always, and I think once we get to that point, but we listen to so many others saying, no, 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 no. And I'm talking about all aspects, all walks. I'm not just talking about trans rights or Black Lives Matter or police rights or I'm sorry, Thin Blue Line, things like that. Like, I'm not talking all of them, like every aspect. Like it has to come from a point of radical consent. This is where we're at. This is what exists, and like you have to be able to do that in every area, like the good, the bad, and all of it, to be able to walk around and be like, but what affects me, what doesn't affect me, and whatever's affecting me, that's what I got to deal with. If it doesn't affect me, if I just hear it on the news and it pisses me off, but it's not affecting me, you can speak out against it. You can rally and do whatever you need to do. And if you want to protest, do whatever you got to do. But you don't have to be mean. At no point did protesting ever say you get to be mean. You get to be a dickhead. You get to be violent. You get to, go ahead and protest. You don't have to be a dick. And I think if we were protesting and saying, like, listen, this is how I feel. Civil protesting, this is how I feel. This is where I'm at. And then listen. Why do I feel this way? Is this true? I think you ask questions a lot more times than anything. It could be some of the best fucking moments of your life. You never know who you're going to meet as a friend. Fruit on pizza is for dessert pizza only. Pineapple juice mixed in my sauce is gross. No, well, to each their own, I guess. You identify as a non-pineapple on pizza eater. And that is the hardest lesson, because sometimes people are discomforted and you want them to stay in your life, but they only want the version of you that will never exist. You have to be you. It's true. It's great advice. You do have to be you. But remember, you have to be you. Doesn't mean it has to be somebody who hurts anybody else. Just be your authentic self and your true self for yourself, not for anybody else. And proceed with being judged and loved as your authentic self. Don't worry about being judged. Don't worry about being judged. The only time you got to worry about being judged is when you commit the crime and you're in front of the judge. I just say don't commit the crime. That's now I understand that that's even more. There's more social issues to what I just said, but like in ultimate judgment of man, and I'm not talking about from God, you can go to that on your own, because again, that's yours. Your relationship with God, everybody's relationship with God or whoever they worship to, if it's God, Allah, whoever, and everyone, whoever that should be your relationship. And then community come together for the entire community to one-on-one together worship. It just boggles my mind that it has come together to be like more of a mob in most aspects, especially in a lot of American Christian institutions, where it's like we get together and we have to have the same ideals. We have to, no, we're supposed to be here and we're supposed to just be connecting with God, not doing all bidding and everything, all like not what this priest is or pastor or whatever is telling you God wants you to do that week. It's supposed to be you and your community getting together and connecting with God, and then connecting with each other. That's just so all week you connect with God on your own, maybe with your family. But even then, it's ultimately a connection that you can only have with God. It can't be, you can feel close with everyone, but it's your connection with God. I realize I'm getting on this movie podcast, I'm getting and pop culture podcast, I'm getting very goddish, but I'm talking about it from the idea of just an ideological standpoint of like, you connect with your God. And then once a week, the idea of like get together with your community and you all worship and you connect. You're all supposed to connect, but you're not supposed to just like that. That was always the beautiful part of connection of like church, was like the community getting together and maybe helping, doing other things. And I've seen that happen. There are good institutions that do that. They get drowned out by the bad ones far too often. And, I've been very fortunate to see a lot of good institutions do a lot of good in their local communities and see good community members come together and do stuff. A lot of bad stuff usually drowns it out because it's bigger, usually because it's more money. So that's all I'm going to leave on that. But, that's my stance though. And, but I am all for your faith, anybody's faith. Respect it all. Like, again, like, how are you to identify? I respect you. Just don't be an asshole. Is that so hard? Like, start at don't be an asshole and don't do anything above that. Okay? There's your barometer. Wake up in the morning. All right. What do I have to not do today? Okay. Don't be an asshole. And anything that extends past that. So, don't hit anyone. Don't kill anyone. Don't do any of these things that are like, clearly horrible. And it all starts with don't be an asshole. Now, can things piss you off? Can you get mad? Yes, absolutely. It's a feeling. You can enjoy a feeling. You can get through it. Go all in. But there's coping. Cope with it. It's all about. Cope with that anger. You don't just become an asshole because of it. Becoming an asshole doesn't even fix it. It just makes you angrier and it makes life harder because you're making the people around you miserable. Whereas you can cope with it. Walk away for 5 minutes. Take some breaths. Draw a picture. Do a distraction. Watch something. Read something. Radical acceptance. There's go look up any type of coping skills. That's it. Strategy skills. Go look them up. Coping. It's easy. And put them into practice. Stand in a mirror and just say, I'm a good person. Over and over again until you feel better. Stand in a mirror and tell yourself a funny joke just to make yourself feel better. Get it past that meanness. Say something, put yourself in your happy place in your head. Get past that meanness. Because it's not about holding it back and shoving it down. It's about being able to let it go. It's about being able to cope with it and not let it take over to the point where you're a dick or worse. So, I'm not trying to split atoms or anything here, but hopefully that helps. A lot of what we've been talking about and stuff. But don't be judged. It doesn't matter. You're not judged. No one's judging you. I didn't judge you for what you said earlier, even though I disagree with you. You're not judged. And you're perfectly within, go be loved. There's nothing wrong with that. That's, of course. But definitely you got to love yourself. So go in the mirror and say, I love myself 10 times every day. Feel better. Hello from North Norway. Hello, Polar Nice. Thank you for joining again. I remember you. Say you don't mind be a dick about it. I'm trying not to be. I'm trying to be fun. Everyone has that one thing will give up on you. That one thing people will give up on you on. Oh, listen, before I move on, but if that one thing is intrinsically you, tough for them. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you got to break from people. Sometimes you have to break from people. Sometimes friendships don't work out. And sometimes friendships have to split. And you have to give that space and let it go. It could be years. And then it could come back around. But you both have to improve. You both have to get better. And you both have to be in the right place for it. But it may never come back around. But that doesn't mean it can't get to a better place. I have lots of friends I've split from where I was just like, I can't be in this friendship anymore. It makes me upset, or this, that, and the other thing, or whatever it was. And I don't know if it's going to come back around, but it may. I'm hopeful that it will because I don't want to, like I don't hate anyone. A good example. I got a couple of good examples. And I don't want to call anyone out, but so I'm not going to use name. Well, one of them is like Casey. So Casey, we had to part last year, and a lot of that was initiated by me, and we were we were in different places, mentally, emotionally, physically, and um, we were being. Well, I mean, like we weren't on the same groove, and I think we we're button heads, and it was getting tough and it split. And I got nothing again. I just wished him a happy birthday. Like I would love to see him again. I do like Casey a lot, but he's going about his business. So like split, but like not unhopeful that it could ever come back around. And then there was a friend of the show, nomination member, who it was falling out with, and it just kind of grew. It kind of festered to more and more of a falling out. And just because a falling out happens doesn't mean that you can't feel it. I feel everyone who like falls out, like, because I want everyone to be a part of the community and this, but like, I do also understand that sometimes people are in different places mentally and emotionally, and you got to be willing, you got to be able to handle whatever's there for you right now, where you're at. So if somebody is in a place where maybe they're in more of an angry state and you're dealing with stuff, or like me, I got medical stuff I deal with and things like that, so like I can't do that. I have to walk away from stuff like that, like where it's like, I don't mean to hurt you, but like I gotta make sure my life is led the right way too. I got wife, kids, things like that, so like I can't put all of it into this and everything, but so sometimes you got to walk away from people to allow for growth. And I do believe that. So, and I believe that's very important for friendship. Yourself and love, it's the easiest thing. Even if you're a teddy bear, became a Giants fan. Always, I grew up that way. I do. All right. So I do cheer for the Eagles too, which is, there's like a piece of me that breaks my heart a little bit because I am a Giants fan, but my son's an Eagles fan. So I'm always going to cheer for their teams, both of their teams. Because I do not adopt that. You have to love your diehard team till the end. It's like, I love my sons more than I love my team. Sorry. I don't care. And I like when they smile. So if their team is beating my team, I'm fine with it. Because those guys on those teams don't give a shit about me. And that's okay too. That's okay. I'm not mad about that. But that's the gentleman's agreement between both of us as fan and player. I can do whatever the fuck I want. So, all right. Well, God is everywhere. His son is away this weekend, famously. Yeah, I like the way you put that. They'll join tomorrow's stream. That's true. Start at don't be an asshole and don't go above that. A t-shirt merch was born. Maybe you might have to throw that on there. Eat a pickle pizza and watch Trek with a friend. I like it. I like it. And I can't quite make that out. It looks like a hug, maybe? I'm not sure. But if it is a hug, thank you for the hug. What we got for me? 7:15. I can still go a little longer. Any more topics? We can get more pop culture and movie. I saw Godzilla and Kong. I saw Ghostbusters. I saw a bunch of stuff recently. So some fun stuff. So we can talk about whatever. I'm all in. But it is Easter. Hopefully you guys are having a good one. And enjoying. So I am all excited for it. Let's see what we got. See what's trending right now on the block. Godzilla's still trending, of course. Why not? It should be. I'm so glad it's doing well. I'm so glad the audience rating is like high. There, people are loving it and to tell people, because there's a lot of people who are like, it's this, that, and the other thing. Yeah. I'll be doing a full review on this. I'll be doing a full review of the movie on the podcast this week, and then in like 2 weeks, I will be doing we have our Godzilla retrospective going on right now. Tomorrow's episode 13 will be out. And then we have 3 more episodes, 14, 15, 16. So that will be the last episode we talk about it. And I'm going to get really in depth there. So it's going to be pretty crazy. How good was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and how it laid the MCU would become my YouTube delay. It was actually 15 years. I'm with you, but whatever. I'll wait. Let's do it. Pop culture. Funny thing about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Okay. So Robert Downey Jr. Let's get into it. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Let's talk about that first. It's one of my favorite movies. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is brilliant. Robert Downey Jr. is great in it. I take nothing away from him. Fantastic actor. Michelle Monaghan's great in it. The show stealer in it's Val Kilmer. Show stealer in it is absolutely Val Kilmer. Kills it on all fronts in that one. Now, to what you're kind of touching down on, how did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang lead into Iron Man? Actually, here's the funny part. It did lead into Iron Man in a big way. It did not revitalize his career to get him to Iron Man. So if you really want to be technical, the return of Robert Downey Jr. came with The Singing Detective, directed by Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson and it was a very good movie. Check it out. He does a great job in it. I mean, if you don't want to watch because of Mel Gibson, that's fine. I allow myself to remove the art so that way I can keep up to point with a lot of stuff. So I will say this. The Singing Detective, so with Mel Gibson, of course, they worked together in Air America. They've always been really good friends. Mel tried to help him with it, and that's why he cast him in the movie, because he knew he'd be great for it. He knew he was a great actor. He had just gotten out of prison. Mel Gibson wanted to help him out. The studio refused. Now, this is 2003 Mel Gibson. Passion and Christ, like a year before, maybe. And it was like one of the biggest independent movies of all time. This guy could literally do whatever he wanted. This wasn't now Mel Gibson where he's done all the stuff he's done. So like he had say, and the studio was still like, there's no way we are bonding for insurance, bonding Robert Downey Jr. for insurance. He's too much of a liability. And it's just one of those things where like Mel Gibson stepped up for his friend and said, fine. And he put up $25 million of his own money to bond Robert Downey Jr. for the whole production. And that kicked him off, and that got him noticed, got him a few like smaller awards and stuff like that, and really noticed, which got him Gothica. And then wound up getting him, a couple other little movies that peaked into Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And that's where people started seeing who he was, and he started making those connections, and Susan Downey and on the whole nine, like all that started coming into play. And that was like his upswing of coming back, which led to Iron Man. But I have to attribute from the beginning, it was probably Mel Gibson's helping his friends through that. AG, as a gay dude, I quote VK lines. The Singing Detective. Have you seen it? Yeah, I've seen it then, because a lot of people have seen it. I'm trying to tell people it's a good movie. My Disney MOV teddy bear is my new Thank you. Sorry, I had to abbreviate Val Kilmer. That's okay. I love Val Kilmer's lines in the movie. He does a fantastic job. And MOV, speaking of Bond. Fair. So yeah, I actually Singing Detective. Yeah, I that's one I probably should go back and rate that on Letterboxd. It's a really good movie. I actually just did. I've been going through my Letterboxd lately and adding because I've been slacking for years. I've had an account, and every so often I go on and maybe just rate stuff. I never write anything. And then finally, I started making lists. So I go back and just start making lists of everything and like just kind of going in. I'll tell you, that just took forever. I added lists from 2014, 2024, all the way back to the beginning of film. And every year, every list I add the movies I've seen from that year. And then I forgot to actually hit the little I button on all of them. So now I'm going back and hit all the ones they hadn't listed. So nobody knows I've actually seen these fucking movies. And then I got to go back and rate them all. So that's going to be interesting for sure. Actors, watch special features of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. I like that movie. That was a good one. I do want to, and maybe I will watch it back. I do like old interviews like that. That movie, when it was released, impressive. Like Britain's Victim, it changed laws. Or did it really? I didn't know that. That's interesting. I have to do some more research on that. I would love to see that. Because that has to play in a lot. So, did we lose you, George? Are you still here? You stopped talking. I miss you, George, my buddy. And I hope Bryce does well and hangs out this week and just gets some rest. And good for him. He's a good kid. So, well, I guess if everybody's kind of quiet, I love hanging out with you, AJ. Having fun with you. I guess we'll go eat, chill out, maybe watch a movie. Watch a movie, that's for sure. But this is Geeked Out Live, people. That's what you do. That's what we do. That's how we roll. You pick the topics. We're gonna start bringing this back more. It's been gone for a long time. Just haven't done it. We're actually gonna be rolling out another live show coming out very soon. It's up in the air right now, but it's gonna be a live show that's available on our Patreon and our Discord. So like and it's free to join our Discord, and we have a free tier on Patreon too. So we're gonna start it out as free on Discord and Patreon for now, and then as it grows, we might have to just move it solely to Patreon and YouTube subscription. But it's gonna be, but you will be able to see glimpses and cuts of it on our YouTube channel afterwards. But it's gonna just be a live show, kind of like this, where we talk, but we're talking about all news. I'm gonna leave the details alone for a little bit. Because there's going to be some interesting stuff, twists and turns that I'm adding to it. But that's going to be coming soon. So, like, if you do want to be a part of that, you got to join up on the Patreon, guys. You can go do that. That's down below, guys. Again, go check out Noom. That's another great one. Go check out any of our affiliates down below. Also, mental health resources. We talked a lot about mental health. We always, on all our descriptions, have mental health resources available for you down below. Go check them out, help them out, do what you got to do. Make sure to follow us, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and hit that bell so we know what's going on with you. And you know what's going on with us. Oh, wait, what we got here? It was legal for interracial marriages in 17 states when it was released. It was illegal for interracial. Yeah. That I knew at the time it came out. It was like, because they wouldn't even play it in certain theaters. It's crazy. But Special Features has a whole saying about how they tried to cancel the movie because they wanted the subject matter to be buried. They claimed it was Bond issue for the stars because they were too old. And it is, I mean, I know they were older, Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn, but come on. It is scary. It is a good story. It is a great story. I agree with you. I think it's terrific. And thank you, AG. Thanks for appreciate you joining in. But we're going to try and bring these back more on Sundays. These will be up. So hopefully you guys will be a part of it. But yeah, remember, hit like, hit subscribe, hit that bell so you know when more great shows like this come out. Tomorrow we have Discovering Horror. April Fool's Day comes out. That'll be available here on the YouTube channel or over on the Carolina Fear Fest YouTube channel, our sponsors. We have their link down below. Get your tickets, 5 years of fear. It's coming up. It's coming up soon. So can't wait to see you guys. It's going to be a great time. Thank you guys again. Remember, be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. Why not? Stay classy. Take care of yourselves as well, because that is very important. And then until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Take care.